Cooper, obviously a very productive season for you last season with the Bakersfield Condors, 64 points in 58 games. Maybe assess year one as a pro and how you feel coming into year two as a pro.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal year. From day one, playing with Coach Woodcroft, he was phenomenal for me. JF Hool, Pat Love, all the whole staff was amazing for me, developing me, my complete game. If it's showing me video, even after a game that I had 3 points, Coach Woodcroft called me in his office, showing me little details that I can do better, and that's going to help me in the long run of being a better NHL player that I know I can be. And I'm very thankful for that year. Although I'd like to be in the NHL all last year, I had a good little experience and a taste of what it's like. But for me, long term, my career was the best thing for me is to be with Coach Woodcroft and really develop me.
Talk about your cup of coffee in the NHL. You had 6 games with the Oilers last season. How much did you learn in that stretch, and how does it maybe help you in times like this ahead of training camp and into rookie camp this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Just coming in this year, knowing a lot of the NHL guys and feeling more comfortable with that. It was a great experience for me. Although I didn't get to play quite that much as I'd want to, I just left there knowing that I can play at this level. I know that I can not only get by, but I think I can be a dominant player in the NHL, and that's something that I worked hard this summer to help me be able to prove that.
And what is your goal heading into training camp? When it's all said and done, what is Cooper Marody's goal?
Yeah, I think the end goal is to make the Oilers, and I've said this many times, I don't want to just be a 13th, 14th forward. I think I can be a top 6 player in the NHL, and I put in a lot of work this summer to prove that. I put on 8 pounds of muscle, did a bunch of on-ice stuff that really helped me, and I know it's going to help me this year. And like I said, I'm not just trying to get by and be, play in the NHL for a little bit. I want to be an impact player in the NHL.
Now, the speed of the game is probably the biggest adjustment from the pro game to the college game rather. What was the biggest thing you learned about yourself in the first year with the Bakersfield Condors?
I think just that I know I can do it. You never really quite know when you're a college player how you're going to translate to the AHL level, how you're going to translate to the NHL level, and I think my game translates really well. I felt very confident with my time in the AHL. I had lots of success there, and this year I'm looking forward to earning a full season in the NHL, and that's something that I want to do, and I know I can be a very impact player in the NHL.
The Condors were in the Calder Cup playoffs. Unfortunately, you had to miss the last stretch of that. How are you feeling both physically and mentally?
Yeah, it was really tough being out. Our team just competed hard all year. We played for one another. It was a special group that you never really get to be around. It's rare in pro hockey and any hockey. So that was really tough, but I'm feeling phenomenal. Had a great summer in the weight room, as I said, work on speed, strength, everything, so I'm feeling great.
You did a lot of off-ice training, including your debut single. Just maybe talk about that and how it all maybe came to fruition.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Nashville this summer on weekends. You work out super hard Monday through Friday, and a lot of guys choose to do different things in the summer and on the weekends. If it's go on the boat, play video games, play golf, but I chose to go down to Nashville. It's a short drive, short flight, so I went down there. I have some great buddies that I actually met in Michigan, and they help produce my music and whatnot, and I write some of the stuff with them as well. And made 2 singles and got them out there, iTunes, Spotify, and I've had a great response thus far, and I'm really thankful for that. And it's something that really helps me be a better hockey player. Whenever I started doing music, it really freed my mind, allowed me to not only put my worth just in hockey, because so many of us, we struggle with, if I don't play well, my life's over, like I'm a failure as a person. But if you can get away from that and have other interests, it helps you become a better hockey player, and it's something that changed my game and made me for the better.
And that's something that you shared in the past. How long was maybe your debut single in the works for? I mean, it came out in July, if I'm not mistaken. It came out in July, but like, how long was that project, and then really, how does it kind of again help balance your life?
Yeah, it was a good amount of time. I think I wrote it with another buddy down there, and we wrote it pretty quickly, and that process doesn't take too long. But the production, I kind of, my buddy sends me mixes, and I say I want to add this or that, and then he adds it. So I don't necessarily have to be in the room the whole time. Like, I'd fly back to Michigan, and he'd send me the updated mix or whatever. And then, but I'd say, it takes about 20 hours, maybe more, of total work and effort to get it done. So it definitely took quite a few months to really get it a mix that we were happy with. And I think everybody seems to be enjoying it.
What's harder, the lyrics or the actual melody when you're singing?
Sometimes you'll start out, I'll just get a melody in my head sometime and start singing it. A lot of times, living life, I just draw inspirations from certain things that I'm experiencing, and I type in a note in my phone, and like I take it to my buddies, or I just write it by myself, and then we come up with lyrics or whatnot. And there's never really a definitive process. Sometimes you have the guitar chords first, sometimes you have the lyrics first, sometimes you have just the idea, and there's no specific process to it.
In Nashville, would I be wrong in saying that most of the people down there are guys that do the lyrics and the stars, they don't write any of their own music?
A
Or
lot.
am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it depends who the artist is. A lot of times, you know, with
Who would do both?
the bigger artists, like a guy that I love is Sam Hunt. He writes every one of his songs, drawn all from personal experiences, and he's a guy that I really learned a lot from. And yeah, he was a college football quarterback. He was an athlete, and yeah, so he's a guy I really draw from.
The heavyweight stars, I don't imagine Carrie Underwood writes her own music, her own lyrics, does she?
You'd be surprised. She writes. They say that she's just as good of a writer as she is a vocalist. So she's actually one of the ones who does write most of her stuff. But I'm not going to embarrass anybody or whatever, call anybody out. But there's a lot of big time artists that don't write most of their stuff now.